Hey,
Well, yeah,
wow,
we're here.
we're
Hello.
here. So welcome back to iChongqing and this little special episode that we came up with. We actually decided to do something a little bit special today,
Yeah,
which is to answer a bunch of questions that you guys have been asking us through our online profiles. And big hello to everyone who might not be watching the live stream right now, but might be watching later.
yeah. And for those who are in front of the screen right now,
Yep.
yeah. Hello, thank you
Anyone who's
for
watching, thank
joining
you for
us.
joining.
Yeah. Actually,
And
it's quite special. Like we are now at the one of Chongqing's most beautiful street. It's by
yep,
the Yangtze River. Yeah, we're gonna show you around like a little bit while we are answering and discussing with you questions like
yes,
that. And also, if you feel okay and if you want to ask questions while we are answering, just send us like comments. We will check it out, and if we have the answer, we'll write you answer you right away.
yes.
Yeah.
So we'll be carrying the phone with us. We'll be showing you views of us answering the questions, and of course the view that we can see from here. Like Xiao just said, this is one of the most beautiful places in Chongqing. This street is famous for having incredible views. So this is where we chose to be today. The sun is a little sharp.
Good weather.
It is. My head is going to be a lot shinier today than usual. So I'm sorry for that if the brightness is too much.
Yeah, like Mikhail said, pretty nice weather today in this winter time. Actually, a lot of people are out. You can see around us actually a lot of
Oh yeah, lots of
pedestrians
tourists
walking around, enjoy
walking
the
around.
sun. Yeah, just hope you can also feel the current from here. Yeah, because you just last week, I think last week, yeah, we put like the questionnaire Q and
Yes.
A on our Facebook, and ask like, what do you want to know? Chongqing, the city of Chongqing, and many of you like we got hundreds, like over
Oh yeah.
300, 400 answers from you, like questions that you ask us, what do you want to know about Chongqing, and we get clarify some of them, right, and just like make some, we just choose the questions that are very
Yeah,
representative.
it wouldn't
Yeah.
be very conductive for us to try and answer 400 questions in a single live stream, Lucky. So
Yeah.
we've taken many of the questions, grouped them together into larger questions, and we're hopefully going to answer as many of them as we can, and everyone will sort of get the answers they were looking for. Like you said, if you want to ask a question to us, you can try and write them down in the comments. We'll try and track it throughout the show today, and we'll try and bring them up. If we see an interesting question that we can just ask right as we go along. But let me just grab this and we'll start moving.
Yeah, start moving and enjoy the
It's hot
view
today.
with us as well as we'll answer
We're
the
gonna do it
questions
this way.
meanwhile.
Let's see. So my face is really bright because the sun is really going at us today.
Yeah.
Let me start off before we start with the questions. Let me just show you what we're looking at. Sure, many of you have already seen these views before. I'm gonna switch to the back camera. So we are on Nanbing Road, and over here across the river you've got Raffles City. It's a little hard to see because the sun is almost directly in front of the camera at this point. And then of course you have the Grand Theater over here. And this is one of those streets that lots of people like walking on. You'll see people running here for exercise.
Jogging,
jogging.
Taking pictures.
Dansishi Old Street starts from where the mall is over here. So yeah, there's always lots to see. Lots of places to go. Let me just switch this back. Here we go. Back to our beautiful faces. Hello.
So yeah, let's start. Like we'll get like 10, 14 or 15 questions like we
Yes.
collected from the questionnaire, very representative ones, and we'll answer them one by one while we are walking around here.
Yes.
So Mikhail, are you ready?
I am
Are we
totally ready.
Okay.
I hope you guys are ready because we're doing it now.
Yeah. So the first question, we got the audience ask us, what is Chongqing or what is iChongqing, right? These two.
Yes. Okay. So let's start with the obvious one. Chongqing is a city, and that's the city that we're in right now.
Yeah,
It's
in
actually-
China. Yeah,
it's
largest.
located in China, in the central part of China, close to Chengdu, and it is one of the biggest cities in China. So it's not just any city; it's one of the biggest. It's one of only 4 municipal level cities, just like Beijing and Shanghai and Tianjin.
Tianjin, like these places, and it
Sorry about that.
sorry
Technical
for a
difficulties.
little break. Yeah. So we are at like we said like there are over 32 million population in this huge city.
Yes.
We call it
It's a massive place.
Yeah, metropolis. This city is like it's modern, and while it is have very interesting like historical and cultural sites to
Yes.
explore. So
Oh
this
yeah.
that is Chongqing, and popular for its spicy food, hot pot like that. So what is Chongqing? Now you know, a
Yes.
big metropolis in China, and
One of the biggest.
yes, and also. So why is iChongqing? Now come to this. You can see on our screen that Xiao Mikio from iChongqing,
Yes.
right? And the iChongqing and Chongqing, there's just one character difference. So
One letter difference, yeah.
iChongqing is like it stands for Chongqing International Communication Center, where Mikio and I we are present. We present, right?
Yes.
So we are media. We are media called iChongqing. We want
International Media Center, I suppose you could call it. So our job is not only to show news and like sort of showing what's going on in the city, but we're also about creating travel information, business information, stuff about investment opportunities.
Yes.
Just about living in Chongqing and coming to Chongqing as a whole, and pretty much everything that goes on here. So that is what we try and do.
Yeah. So you see that you can follow our Facebook main page, like called iChongqing,
Yes.
and Twitter account called iChongqing, as well as YouTube channel. And also you can go to our website, because on this social media platform, for sure you can find link to our website that has a big information base
Yes.
of what we collect.
Lots of information that we've been
interesting
working
things.
on for the past
Yeah.
3 years,
2 years,
several
two
years,
and more years, yeah,
So-
for tell you about the city of Chongqing. It's
Yes.
all in English. There's pictures, there's videos, and yeah, like articles, a lot of very interesting news, actually,
Yes.
information to get in for you.
If you want to know
Enjoy the
anything
day.
about Chongqing, one of our platforms will surely have the answer to that. So it's a good place to check out.
So that is Chongqing. And why is Chongqing? Why is iChongqing?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Same, but different.
and then what? Second question.
Oh, let's go.
Well, so there, we got audience ask, how can I get to Chongqing, and what language the local people speak here?
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a good question. As someone who has traveled around China a lot myself, Chongqing is actually very well connected to not only the rest of China, but also to the rest of the world, I would say. There are lots of international flights going to and from Chongqing, or bigger cities that are very close by. Of course, if you're already in China, the high-speed rail will allow you to come to Chongqing in
Quite easily. We
quite
call
easily.
very developed high-speed railways connect you to all across China.
Yes.
Yeah, and also if you are in outside Chongqing, right?
Yes.
Well, like nowadays, if you want to access to Chongqing, well, because due to the global pandemic, so there's specific regulation and policies, to check out.
Yes.
I would suggest you, when you are in your own country, you can check this information when can enter, and on Chinese consulate.
Yeah. So the best thing is to
embassies.
check with the Chinese embassy and consulates in your
Yeah.
area, and also follow your own government State Department, because they will be the first to have accurate and reliable information about
Yeah.
when you can and cannot leave your own country, and whether or not you can or cannot get into China. Because there are some countries that can currently travel in and out,
Yeah.
some countries that are a little bit more difficult, and
Yeah.
so it's hard for us to say specifically how
Now,
you can get here.
Yeah, if
That
you
is
are
something
outside
that
China.
you will have to check
Yeah.
with the Chinese authorities and your local authorities.
Yeah, but like that, it's like for a short time, right? I think we want to present you Chongqing for a long time, right? In the future, for sure.
Yes.
When you get to know Chongqing through us, and through like see this beauty of this place, and you want to enjoy. Currently, of course, we will continue
yeah.
to provide the interesting information about our city
We
on
will
our social
continue
media.
to show everything we can about Chongqing.
Yeah, and have you prepared for your future
Yes.
trip here? Maybe. Yeah.
Stay tuned for that. There's lots more stuff to come all the time.
Yeah, and what language people spoke here?
Oh, okay. So interesting thing is, even if you have studied, the Chinese language, even if you studied Mandarin Chinese, there is a good chance that you will meet some people in Chongqing who maybe do not understand what you're saying. And that is because not only do people in China obviously speak Chinese, Mandarin, or Putonghua, whatever you want to call it, but the locals here in Chongqing actually have their own dialect Chinese. And I guess you just call it Chongqinghua, don't you?
Chongqing dialect. It's
Chongqing dialect, yeah.
Well, it's like altogether. Of course, we speak Chinese, right?
Yes.
But there's a little bit like tongues difference, accent in it. So locals we speak Chongqing dialect.
Yes.
But actually, trust me, if you can understand Mandarin, yeah, I think this dialect accent, like Chongqing dialect, is not that hard for you to understand.
Yeah. So it's still based off of the same sort of dialect. And if you can speak Mandarin Chinese, there's a good chance that you will understand most of what goes on. It's mostly just like the older generation of people who maybe don't speak Putonghua that often. They can still understand you. They may not talk it back to you, but they will certainly understand when you talk to them.
Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
Oh.
Okay.
Little stuff on the ground there.
So that's the thing. I mean, like English, of course, is like it's very convenient for foreign
Yes.
tourists coming here to communicate. I will not say like you can find a lot of people speak English here. I don't think that is the case.
Not a huge number of people. You will
Yeah.
be surprised to find that most street signs, signs from bus stations, the
Hmm.
subway stations, every major transit hub has English signs, so it's easy to get around and find whatever you need. There's also, I think, more and more people, even locals, especially the younger generation, who can speak English pretty well, actually.
Yeah.
Having been a teacher myself in Chongqing for a couple of years, I have seen sort of the development and how more and more people start speaking the language and are more brave to come up and talk to foreigners on the street
Yeah.
when they do see them.
And one thing for help when you are here, of course, like translator software,
Yes.
like
Ooh,
apps can
Baidu
always
Translate
help. Can
has helped
always
me so
help,
much.
really. Like even like sometimes, like because the people here are very friendly.
Yes.
If you are here and you try to get to know the way, and they are actually very want to help you. We will feel like want to
Oh,
help
yeah.
you. But communication, if really language is a problem, so use your phone, use the internet, use the like translations app
Yes.
and apps. For sure, that can help like to a lot. Help a
Yeah,
lot.
when I first came to China, using online translator apps was a little honky. You couldn't always trust the translation was accurate or what you came up with.
Yeah.
Today, no problem at all. You can almost write an entire paragraph in English and have Google or Baidu translate it. It'll work just fine.
Yeah.
Everyone will understand it. Everyone will know what you're talking about. So that totally works.
Okay, great. And because
Yes.
as we are just stand here, I think it's better to show our audience what
we're looking
that
at?
building opposite of us.
Let's
Yeah,
show
just a
you the
moment.
beautiful view from the street. Now we're just looking at my pretty face for a second. There we go. We will let you see the view. We're just walking around this little grassy patch here, then we'll come back down to the river
Yeah,
so we can show you what's going on.
that's Yangtze River. That's Yangtze River.
The Yangtze River running here, Raffles in the back.
Oh, Raffles, that giant, right?
That
Stand
giant.
there. Because there is a, so we can start maybe just facing that direction.
Sure.
We will tell you some stories, historical stories about Chongqing. Maybe
Oh, yeah.
that's a great place to start actually. The Raffles City actually, the many of you may know the in Singapore this large
The
hotel,
Marina Bay Sands.
Bay Sands, right? And that architecture who designed that is the one who
It's the same who designed this building.
this Raffles City. It's like a sailor actually. It's a sail, a boat about to sail.
Yes.
And that place is just the conjunction of Yangtze and Jialing River.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I turn the camera like this, you can see there is one river coming down from here. Follow my finger. The other one is coming from over here. And so this line right around here, that's where the two rivers meet. It is a little hard to see now because we see the sun directly. But that is exactly where the two rivers meet. Follow my finger. The other one is.
Yeah. So this place is built. This building, huge Raffles City, is built above the Chaotianmen Dock.
Yes.
It's a dock because you see like the Yangtze River and Jialing River join here. You can see this city actually long ago, right? It's like get flourished from the riverside.
Yes.
So as the city is by riverside, very long ago, thousands years starts, people here, go. There's a lot of port along the city, and the port just over there where Mikhail's camera is just pointing.
Yeah. So it's a little hard to see. So the port in Chongqing is actually located right under here. So the Raffles City is up there, and the port is, the wharf, I guess you'd call this, down here. And they actually not just at the area right here. The wharf extends down along the river on either side. And if you come here, especially during the evenings, you will see many of the cruise ships taking off from this location, going on the Three Gorges cruise from here. There's a night view cruise where you sail on the two rivers to look at the night views, which look amazing. Favorite things about Chongqing is actually the skyline that you get. And anyone who's seen photography from Chongqing will have noticed that I take a lot of evening photos of just the skylines and Raffles City and the bridges and Hongya Cave.
And I think we will find the time to show you the beautiful night view. Again, next time in our live stream. But today, yeah, let's just appreciate it in the
Today we're just
time.
enjoying one of what we think might be one of the last really warm, sunny days before winter starts taking a hold.
Yeah.
So it was just about the last chance to get out and really enjoy the weather that we have.
Yeah, because you see that the Raffles City is really tall. It's like over 350
It is very tall.
meters above the ground. And we got many audience actually ask us how many skyscrapers Chongqing has and
Yeah.
how many like skyscrapers above 350 meters.
Yes.
And or like so is that a skyscraper city, sky city like that?
A
So
sky city.
because as you like who has been here, you know, like for years, right, Chongqing, and through
Yes.
your eyes, like a foreign perspective, how do you think Chongqing is that really a nice sky city?
I would definitely say Chongqing is somewhat of a sky city. Um, One thing to take into consideration also, I think, when you look at the skyline is that while many of the buildings look really tall, it's important to remember that the layout of the land here is so hilly that a building that actually isn't very tall on its own might look enormous next to another building that is closer down by the river because of the slopes of the banks. But there's so much variation, so many tall buildings, so many places to get great views. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
like
all
because
over the
on
place.
this, for example, Raffles City over 350 meters,
Yes.
and we got World Financial Center that is 339.
Yeah.
And there's like more. One like it's called A1 Tower. That is gonna be over 470
Yes. Still
meters.
under construction. Should be done 2022.
Yeah, like that. That's gonna be amazing, really. But
Oh,
the
yeah.
skyline in Chongqing is consists of these skyscrapers.
Yes.
So if you ask whether Chongqing is a sky city, yeah, maybe we can show a little bit of like background to them.
Yep. Let me switch back. Oh, sorry. Da-da-da. I wish there was an easier way to do this. There we go. So here.
Yeah.
So not only do you have Raffles over here, you can see the World Financial Center and some other tall buildings, but even if we pan over towards the Grand Theater and Jiangbeicheng, you can see lots of other tall buildings all the way along the river.
Wow, yeah, it's
This
foggy.
down here
It's a
is
little
where we
foggy
came
today,
from.
but it's the skylines. That's it. We can see many YouTubers and like video content creators, photographic creators, right?
Yeah.
Take picture of this city's beautiful skyline a lot.
Yes. It's a fan favorite. Careful with
Okay.
the poles. It's definitely a fan favorite to come and look at the skyline of the city. And even the road that we're not working on, the road that we're walking on, you have tall buildings here, and there are even more being built as we speak. And so there are new skyscrapers coming up, not daily, but certainly yearly. Certainly every year, a new tall building comes up. And there's also lots of traffic on the river,
Yeah, it's like a lot
lots
of
of boats,
ship boats.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, Yangtze River is the main, like the carrying rivers in China.
Yes.
So no wonder there are many places. Well, let's jump to another question
New
we got
question.
from our audience. Well, the people ask, what are the historical places to visit in Chongqing? Historical, yes.
Historical
of course.
places to visit in Chongqing. Where do we start? Literally, where do we start? That list is so long. Even if you're only considering downtown Chongqing, which is where we spend most of our time, obviously, because that's where we live. Historical places, right? Sijiko, obvious. That place is over 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
It's one of the oldest shopping streets in the city. Has a temple that's even a little bit older than the city itself. There's a Jiefengbei Liberation Monument at the square in Yuzhong district.
Yes.
A monument to the Second World War.
And yeah, that's worth mentioning because Chongqing is also the temporary capital of China
Oh, yeah.
during World War II.
Something that many people may not know.
May not know, but there's a lot of that kind of museums and sites to explore about the memory of that time.
Yes.
Yeah, just for short about that, because Chongqing is just like many other cities in China, long history, thousands years, of course.
1,000 years of
And
history. There's
luckily,
so much.
yeah, and luckily we got like many of these historical sites got preserved, like the Sishiko ancient town Mikio mentioned.
Yes.
And there are many more, like a guild hall or something. Actually, they are still like we have to mention one. It's like the UNESCO heritage.
The UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Yeah.
Obviously, Datu rock carvings.
Exactly.
If anyone knows anything about Chongqing, usually it is the Jiefengbei Monument, Sichiko Hongya Cave, Datu rock carving.
And also Three Gorges.
And the Three
Of course,
Gorges.
Three Gorges. Yeah, like this is like some iconic places you come to
Yes.
visit in Chongqing. So that rock carvings is a Buddhism, like the grottos, like
Yes.
that. And it was like thousands year old, and it's symbolized the wisdom of ancient people, how they make the stone carved. Because
Yes.
grotto is a way how the Indians, Buddhism or something get into China.
Yeah,
And,
it was a way of communicating their faith
yeah.
and their beliefs.
So that's the kind of the way that the people here, ancient people in Chongqing, they got that idea, got the religion of Buddhism, and
Yeah.
then preserve it and worship it into a kind of like stone carving, and it has very high value of art. By the
Yes.
way, so we are not there, so we are not able to show you how it looks exactly like.
But we have been there a couple of times.
Yeah, but do visit our YouTube channel or iChongqing this channel, screen some photos. We have a lot of photos, and we even do a travel guide on Dutch rock carvings.
Yes.
You can check out our YouTube channel or our website even. So
Keep talking. I just noticed my shoelaces are untied.
no
I'm gonna
problem.
disappear for a bit.
He will just disappear for a while. So that rock carvings is like definitely is one of the most historical places in Chongqing that you can go. Historical, yeah. And when we mention historical, of course, we need to say something about natural, right? Like
Yes.
natural landscapes, like this
Natural
resource, huge tourism resources. We actually try to pass like a lot of like travel information, resources information to the outside world of Chongqing,
Yes.
so that you may know more. Because as long as people get interested, say it, they will feel interested.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's just the difference of they know it or not. If they know, they will really feel much to
Yeah.
come because have so much to offer. Like the Three Gorges tour, right?
Oh yeah,
Where you just
absolutely.
start here. You take the cruise, start right next to us, like the river here,
Yes.
and then you can sail for like 7 days or even 10 days. Very nice Yangtze River cruise tour around these Three Gorges.
Yeah, and there's one thing that I've noticed through the travel programs that we've been doing,
Yeah.
sharing some of these travel locations. We always get a lot of feedback that says, "Wow, I had no idea this place even existed. I had no idea you could go here. I had no idea you could see this." And so it just goes to prove that Chongqing is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated cities in China, because everyone knows Beijing and Shanghai and Tianjin and all those. Even Chengdu, which is so close, everyone knows that place. Much fewer people know about Chongqing, which I think is a shame, because to me, Chongqing is perfect. It's a perfect mix of a modern city that still contains a lot of old, sort of traditional arts and histories and
Exactly.
like the old kind of buildings that I like to photograph. There are so many beautiful places to visit as well. And there's just so many places that people don't even know about. And that's what makes our job interesting, is because
Exactly.
we get to see these places and tell the world about them.
Yeah, and
We enjoy that a lot.
the Chongqing cityscape is really cool. Like you see like this architecture's beautiful
Yes.
skyline, one thing, and also this kind of interesting local like people's life. Like sometimes you can venture into a very kind of stylish tea house, even like that is like keep to the style of like 20 or 30
Yeah.
years ago, and you can still feel that atmosphere. The people, old ones going, and you can sit down and have a cup of tea along with them. You just
Yeah.
feel like time just flash back. And
Yeah,
of
it's like
course,
time is frozen in those
yeah,
places.
yeah. And of course, except places like this is a modern city. You can
Yeah.
find like as many as like entertainment, modern facilities that you can find in other developed
Oh yeah,
cities. Like
anything you would want, anything you could possibly want or look for or need, Chongqing will have it.
Yeah.
In one way or another. So you're never missing out by
Yeah,
being there.
so about like I will also have audience, so they ask if they come or they kind of interested to know what food we eat here, like generally.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into the good stuff. I think anyone who knows about Chongqing or has been to Chongqing at least once will know about hot pot. That is like that is
to
the
hot
big
pot.
one.
Yeah, spicy hot pot.
I was actually thinking we could put this down here. Then we can talk with the background.
Yeah, spicy hot pot is like one of the most famous food here in Chongqing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we have the thing like hometown, like hometown to.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let me
Okay, hometown to hot pot. Spicy one.
There we go.
For those who wow, so nice. Look behind us, like this
Your hair looks
beautiful
good.
skyline. Thank
I
you.
love it.
Thank you. So spicy hot pot is one of the things you have to try when you are here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not much of a hot pot fan myself.
Yeah, I know you don't like spicy that
I just
much.
can't
Yeah.
handle. I'm a sweet foods kind of person, but
Okay.
thankfully, hot pot isn't the only thing you can eat in Chongqing.
And-
It's one of those stereotypes that I sometimes worry about gets presented a little bit too often. Everyone is like, "Oh, Chongqing, you know, you got hot pot and stuff." Yes, but there's so much other food to explore in Chongqing as well. So many local style dishes, so many
Street side
traditional
foods. Yeah.
the street food. There's so many old traditional style dishes that are sort of an amalgamation of different dishes from different places. And there's just so much to try out. It's not just hot pot. Hot pot,
Hot
of
pot,
course.
noodles for
Noodles.
sure. Chongqing's
Chongqing
noodles.
xiaomian
That is when you come China, when you mention Chongqing, they will say hot pot, Chongqing noodles.
Yes.
Like this kind of stuff. They have most authentic one. You gotta try here. You like spicy? This is heaven for you. But if you're not much for spicy thing, just find some dessert and some other food style. Here is like the
Yes.
city of delicious food. And if you check really on YouTube or on our channel, we have like Chongqing's top 10 food
Yes.
to try prepared for you. Just check like Chongqing
Oh
top
yeah,
food.
there are tons of things to
iChongqing,
try.
yeah, on
So
YouTube. You
Chongqing
get that.
really is not only hot pot. It's not only spicy food. There's lots of things to get. Obviously, it's a signature food. You'll find it just about anywhere. But it's not the only thing. There's so much to explore.
Yeah, and actually because this is also quite an international city, if like you really like have your own dining habit, for example, you want like this kind of Western or like some more of your home country's food, there are also you can find like different restaurants that's dedicated to different countries' cuisines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like for example, there's like let's say Italian food
Yeah.
or German food or like European as a European.
European,
Oh.
Thai.
Oh yeah, Thai and
Not specifically Danish food, but German is usually close enough for me.
yeah. So the last thing, even like you like your home country's cooking, you can find similar style food
Yes.
like tailored for your appetites. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
a great
Lots of
variety
Western
to
restaurants too.
check out here. Yeah. So
All right, what else we got?
what? Oh, we got a lot.
We got a lot.
And are people here in Chongqing friendly to tourists or to people?
Yes.
You have a say.
As someone who came to Chongqing as a visitor before I moved here, yes, absolutely. I have so many small stories of people helping me out with various things from even before I could even speak the language. Something as simple as me being a Westerner from Denmark, I've drank a lot of milk. And for me, milk was really hard to find because a lot of Chinese locals don't drink milk as much as Western people do. And so, like walking into a supermarket looking for fresh milk and trying to, explain, milk, a cow, and then trying to show them what milk is. They will follow you and show you around the whole supermarket until you find what you're looking for. Something that you don't get in a lot of other places, I feel like, at least.
Yeah, actually, that's the kind of comments, positive comments I heard from many of the foreign friends or foreign tourists come here, that they really feel people are here are show great hospitality for like travelers here. We feel like first we feel proud, we feel happy that you came here for a visit. You appreciate the beauty of the city. So I think many of the locals they are just feel so happy to present you what they have. So so they don't feel free to don't feel like afraid to asking
don't be
the
afraid to ask
way
for
or
anything.
asking for help in this city. People will try to help you. If language a problem, like we said again, just
use your phone. It wasn't as convenient for me 7 years ago when I first came.
Yeah,
but
translation
today
apps.
it's no problem at all. But they will also, if you ask someone for direction, they will, instead of just pointing and say, oh, just go that way, they will go with you until you find what you're looking for. They will go out of their way to try and help you, which is something that I think in many other cultures it's maybe hard to find. There are nice people everywhere, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I
feel
like
generally,
for many, I think.
Yeah, I think people in Chongqing are generally very, very, very nice and helpful.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
So that's cool thing to check out when you are here. That's just one charming characters about Chongqing. The people
What you
here.
also find in Chongqing is that many of these people, when they see you on the street, might want to come up to you and say hi, and they don't have any nefarious thoughts or anything. They're just interested in seeing foreigners, to speak to
just
foreigners.
Hello, like
they will say hi, and they might run off immediately afterwards. But that's another thing. But they really do want to try and talk and interact and just figure out who you are and where you're from and why you're here. They may invite you for tea or take you out for lunch, and it's
possible. Really, everything's like possible. Like if like to have some nice interaction, with the local people here. That can be a memory, like during your unforgettable memory during your trip here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there are some. We have some audience ask us like, what's the cost of living here?
Yes.
Cost of living. Oh, well, that is very good. We often hear like tourists or like expats here in Chongqing that they tell us the price and the compare with the food and the service you got. It's really good, like
Yes.
it's really good. You can spend relatively lower cost money, but to get super good services and super good food or whatever like you want to buy.
Yeah.
It has a very good balance here. The money you spend and the service or products you can get. For
Absolutely.
example, like if you have one meal, like for example, normal meal, let's say
Yes.
normal meal in a restaurant. Let's say it's you can have like not the restaurant, just like daily meal. You are traveling, you want to make yourself like if you're hungry and have something 20 RMB or 10 and some RMB.
Yeah.
Really, you
You get
can
it
get
really cheap.
really cheap and very nice meal for that. And of course, you can go some stylish restaurant and something. Usually, like the median, the same is like 200, around 200 with like two people or something. You can get relatively good service
Oh
in
yeah.
restaurant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and for of course there are some kind of luxuries and like hotels. Let's say not maybe it does not have to be luxurious hotels, just hotels services. How is the hotel? It's like for 200 or 300 you can really get a very nice apartment in a hotel or a room in a hotel, very clean
Yes.
and like 3 stars at least for that. And you spend like 600, 700, you can go even or sometimes like over 1000, you can get really a very luxurious room
Oh yeah.
here. It's a blessing
The
really
rooms here
for,
are
for
amazing.
travelers here. The price is so good for
And not
everything.
only is it like you can get really expensive and high quality rooms, but there is also a lot of options if you're a little bit more of a budget traveler. If you want something that is a little bit more budget friendly, you can absolutely find that. So not only are there great hotels with the best quality service you can imagine, but there are also hostels that are much cheaper and will allow you to perhaps put your money to better use in terms of then using that money for experiences um, instead of just having paid for a nice room in a hotel. So there is something for everyone. If you want a really nice quality lodging, you can definitely find that. But if you want something a little bit more geared towards budget traveling, you have that option as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll jump. Another question is, audience ask, is Chongqing? He or she heard a lot about Chongqing and its buildings. Yeah, that we
Right.
just explained.
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay, and then what are the notable worthy buildings, and how many skyscrapers does Chongqing have? Well, we're back to the previous topic actually. A lot. Yeah, a lot of skyscrapers. Notable ones like the one just opposite us, Raffles City.
Yep.
You definitely gotta check out. There's observation deck over there. You see that horizontal
See the horizontal skyscraper up there.
skyscrapers? There is a observation deck. That is so cool. Like if you got chance to enter. And behind it, there is a World Financial Center that is over there. I think that one. Mikhail, can you
Yes.
point that one?
Should be that one right in the middle there.
Yeah, it's still also all the tallest buildings. They got very nice observation deck. Go there, you can admire the buildings, concrete jungle a lot.
Yes. There's
Yeah.
one more observation post. You won't be able to see it very clearly from here. It's up here. It's called iChongqing. It's located up on the mountain up here in the back, where you can also get an exquisite view of the night view, especially from this place. All right, let me point this back at us. So bright they can hardly see what we're pointing at. I really hope you can see better than what it looks like on the screen from us.
Yeah.
It is very, very, very bright, but I'm hoping you can see what it is that we're pointing at.
Yeah.
We'll send photos.
So and also we got audience ask us, is Chongqing is a very heavily planted place, like a lot of branch. Yes.
Yes.
This is a mountain city. That's the nickname of this city. A metropolis among mountains. You can see even around us there is like mountains line. You can see that.
Yeah,
there
even
around
just
us.
along the street here behind us, there are lots of trees and hedges and decorative sort of ornaments and stuff. So there is a lot to look at.
Very green city.
Very
you
green
you
city.
see plants everywhere, and you see this kind of mountains a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. So and we also got asked what is Chongqing closest to Beijing or Shanghai? How long does it take to travel to Chongqing? Well, I would say Beijing and Shanghai, we got like a very convenient way to get to Beijing or Shanghai.
Yes.
One, by flight. or you buy high-speed train.
Yes.
Well, by flight, Beijing Shanghai compare is similar distance actually. By flight is 2 hours and a half.
30 minutes. Yeah,
30,
2 hours.
20, 30 minutes, like 2 hours, 20, 30 minutes to Shanghai or to Beijing, fly
Yes.
from Chongqing. And it's very convenient. You can find a lot of flights here, like to run between these two, Chongqing
Yes.
and these two
Very
big
easy to
cities.
travel to and
Yeah.
from here.
Another choice is by high-speed train. High-speed train take a little longer. For example, to Beijing and to Chongqing, to Beijing or to Shanghai from here Chongqing. Usually it take like around 11 or 12 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, but like even it's longer, but it's also comfortable. Nowadays,
But
the
also,
high-speed train is
a lot of
comfortable to
people
sit.
like the trains because riding on the train is an
Oh.
experience in itself.
Yeah, because I sightseeing around.
Yeah, you're sightseeing. You're looking at the cities as you go through them and stuff, and that's just nice in itself. 1 second, Xiao. I'm gonna unplug the microphone very briefly because the stabilizer isn't working very well at the moment.
Okay.
So you might lose audio for a bit.
Okay.
We're just gonna switch the camera to look at the scenery. This should only take a moment. There we go. Let's get that. There we go. We should be back with the audio. I hope we are. Can you hear us?
Yeah, should be fine.
Should be fine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the stabilizer was acting up.
Yeah, so I saw a lot of comments here. Like we have friends, we have audience tell us they have been to Chongqing before and told us they want to come to visit Chongqing. Great, great. And like there's plenty of choices. It's convenient here. I think in the future, a kind of trip here is definitely worthwhile.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you haven't been to Chongqing, but you've been to China, I definitely say you've been missing out. Obviously, there's so much in all of China to see and to explore, but Chongqing should definitely be on your list of places to visit.
Yeah, and also I have got one more question here.
Ooh.
Okay.
More questions.
Are there many foreigners in Chongqing, like Beijing or Shanghai, or are there many expats? Yeah,
there are
expats for sure.
Not as many. So obviously, bigger cities like Shanghai, Beijing, Tianjin, and Guangzhou, those areas, they obviously have a lot of foreigners. Chongqing does have some, not nearly as many, but that number has also increased over the past couple of years. It used to be when I would walk down the street by myself that I was almost a celebrity just by the fact that I looked a little bit different. I would have kids running up saying hi from across the street. And that doesn't happen so much anymore now. Partly, obviously, because they're getting more used to having foreigners in the city, but also because there are just more people coming in, doing different kinds of jobs. Obviously, you have teachers, you have people working in finance, you have people starting their companies. So lots of coming in, and there are more and more foreigners visiting. And Chongqing was actually always a bit of a tourist hotspot because if you want to go on the Yangtze River cruise, the Three Gorges cruises, they always start from Chongqing. They start from the wharf that we're walking next to, and so they would come into the city and spend a day here, and then get on the boat to sail on their cruise afterwards.
Yeah. So growing, like Mikhail said, and
yes.
The city is preparing to accept more and more, right? We're looking reaching out to more people to know the city and come here to enjoy the beauty that and we can offer here. I like that.
Yes.
And I actually, this is like there is like audience ask. We said we have 32 million people in the whole city of Chongqing, right?
Yes.
Some people ask us whether it's overpopulated. Actually, it's not the case. You can Chongqing, you got even there are too many people, you got plenty of space for your home, like that, because it's a huge area as well. There are many different. This is downtown area. We have many districts around, so a lot of place to explore, and a lot of people scattered over here, so over these places. So it's definitely the place to check out one by one. Downtown.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people in Chongqing, and you'll definitely see that when you're out walking around. But it doesn't feel like there's too many. Like any big city with a sizable population, you get, a little bit of traffic sometimes when you're going to and from places during rush hour. But coming from a small country myself, so I don't. If anyone knows about Denmark, where I'm from, the total population of my country is about 5.5 million people. Chongqing has how many? What, 30 something?
Over 32
32 million people. There are at least maybe 10 million living in the downtown area. And it doesn't feel crowded. Sure, if you're out at busy times like a Saturday evening or in the center of the city, sure, you're going to see lots of people. If you go to tourist attractions, sure, you're going to see lots of people. But that's the same everywhere.
Yeah.
But just in your daily life, walking on the street, going to and from work, it's not really that bad.
Yeah.
And it astounded me that sometimes I can be in a city this big and still feel like I have so much space to move around. Like even the street we're walking on right now, this is one of the bigger sort of touristy walking streets, and there aren't that many people around.
That's working
Nice.
right?
I suppose it's working. So we're working, so
But
it's
still,
okay.
but still, it's never large area, large space in Chongqing, so it's not like people feel crowded or like that.
You don't
Yeah.
feel like you don't have any space to move. There's always a park. There's always lots of room that you can walk around. So I don't feel overcrowded. I feel it's fine.
So actually, in this questionnaire, right, we asked our audience, like you, and in front of the screen, like, what do you want to know the city about Chongqing? You
Yes.
asked a lot, really. Like, we appreciate that. These are really good questions, and we will try our best to answer you. This time, Nico and I were mainly covering the tourism, culture, and life thing about Chongqing.
Yes.
But still, we saw that in the questionnaire, there are questions about education, right? They're asking for foreign exchanges opportunities here,
Yes.
and asking about business. Well, we will see. We will for sure. We will like try to provide this information for you as soon as possible, and also through some feasible ways. Just stay tuned.
Yes. So
With-
you might see some more posts coming up on social media.
Yeah.
You might even arrange another live stream where we can answer some of those questions. Because like Xiao said, we are dealing mostly with tourism and culture. So that's sort of what we know the most
Yeah,
about.
well, currently now, but for the business and business environment about the city and also the education, I think we will do it in separate live streams or videos.
Yes.
We will keep you updated because that information, of course, is we need to carefully also prepare for you, like
Yes.
find like very good resources to answer your questions. That we'll do it definitely. Stay tuned for
Yeah.
our channel, and we will
Definitely
put
coming.
posters out when this kind of video concerning education and concerning the business environment here will out. It will be separate. This time we do travel and tourism. Just stay tuned, and when we are ready for that content, we will put poster to help you know when
Yes.
we will give these answers to you. But thank you for really participating in our Q&A. We feel honored that we can provide the answers that within our range we can get for you.
Yeah.
And we will help you get for those or others that you will concern.
Yeah, and if you have any additional questions, feel free to write them down in the comment of this
Yeah.
video down below. We will definitely check them, and then the next time we do a
Like
Q&A video like this, we'll make sure that
we'll
we
make sure
include
we'll answer them.
those answers in there.
Yeah, thank you very much, really, everybody, for joining. So I think this time we're gonna wrap up
Yep.
for the live stream. And I saw we already got a lot of audience comments us.
Yep.
Yes, Chongqing looks nice. Thank you, thank you a lot. Like, beautiful. I was there before.
Yeah, we have a
Yes.
couple of people who've been to the city
So
before.
hope this bring your memories back.
Yeah, so thank you so much for
greetings.
participating.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for writing comments. We'll be back shortly. We don't know exactly when just yet, but look out for the posters. We'll announce it usually a couple of days before we go live,
Yeah.
so you'll have time to figure out if you can watch it or not.
Join this. Thank you. Take comments if you have questions or have some interactions want to
Yep.
say. Thank you.
Make sure you check our website and our links and our different social media accounts, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you next one.
Bye bye.